400,000 fans, sold out seats, higher ratings than Daytona. The 109th running of the Indy 500 was one for the books, and I was there, not just watching, but reconnecting with old friends, getting VIP access, and soaking in the kind of racing vibes you just don't get from a sim rig. Here's how it all went down. Every great racing story starts with a journey. Mine, well, it started with a shuttle bus to the airport. Not very glamorous, right? And then it was on to Southwest Airlines for my flight from Oakland to Vegas for a quick pit stop, and then on to Indy. Total travel time, just shy of 12 hours. I landed in Indy at 2:30 in the morning. At that point, you don't even call it late, you just call it racing season. No sleep? No problem. I was finally back in Speedway, Indiana, and things were just getting started. Friday was Carb Day, and we pulled up like we were royalty. Went right into the Dallara parking lot. Yeah, you know, Dallara, the ones that make the Indy cars. And then we walked across the street to the Speedway and started making our way to the suites. Indoor-outdoor luxury, pit lane views, free food and drinks flowing. It was part race prep, part race party, and all vibes. I could get used to this. And a few people took it a little too far. We even swung by the Penske Racing garages and caught up with our old buddy Clay. He's the crew chief on McLaughlin's car. It's wild how tight this community stays, just like in sim racing. Except, you know, millions of dollars faster. And then something kind of special. Off to the side of pit lane, a crew was carefully unloading and assembling the trophy. Yeah, the Borg Warner, the one, the only. It's hard to describe how cool it is seeing that thing up close. All the faces, the detail, it's got presence. It's like motorsport royalty just casually showing up for the ceremony. We saw it again later, perched on pit lane, like a crown waiting for its next champion. Saturday was our so-called rest day, and honestly, I kind of needed it. So we just kind of hung out at Troy's house, talked about racing stories from the past, and hung out with the real MVP of the trip, that being Troy's 1-year-old golden retriever, Buddy. Now look, I've seen some fast laps in my day, but Buddy doing hot laps in the backyard, that was next level energy. That night we cleaned up and we headed downtown to St. Elmo's, Indy's legendary steakhouse. It's where VIPs, crew chiefs, and drivers come to unwind or negotiate contracts over cocktails. The steak, on point. The shrimp cocktail, legendary, like tear up your sinuses spicy. It was a perfect low-key reset before the main event. Sunday was coming fast, and we were fueled and ready. Sunday, the big show. It is so crowded that we couldn't even drive to Dallara. But luckily, all we had to do was a 15-minute walk through Speedway, Indiana from my buddy Troy's house. It's the kind of pilgrimage that every race fan should make at least once in their lifetime. The whole city is about Indy. We took part in all the festivities building up to the event. And as the cars were starting to grid, none other than Clay shows up at the fence so we could give him some last-minute good luck wishes. 400,000 people in the stands, and we're the ones getting high fives from pit lane. You just can't script that. The race? Well, McLaughlin crashed before the green. Andretti done before lap 1. Rain? Of course. Delays? Oh yeah. We had everything. Mechanical dramas, pit stop meltdowns, literally, I mean a fire. Storylines came and went. Newgarden chasing 3 in a row. Sato looking strong. Rossi making moves. But in the end, it was Alex Palou who pulled away. And yeah, his 5th win in 6 races. Dominant? Sure, but kinda boring. Monday started with a visit to the newly remodeled Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, and I gotta tell you, they nailed it right from the lights out. The opening video, straight up chills. If you're even half of an IndyCar fan, it'll hit you right in the feels. History, heart, goosebumps, tears. From classic roadsters to championship-winning beasts, this museum is a walk through racing's greatest moments. Every corner, another legend. But one of the coolest parts was we got to look at that same car that everybody in Indy was talking about, and that was last year's winner's car that had the exact same infraction that got this year's car penalized. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But now is probably a good time to introduce the crew I rolled with. Troy. Met him back in 2002 during the Russell Racing Mechanic program. Lifelong friend and straight up legend in the paddock. Then there's Robert and Brandon, Troy's longtime crew. Awesome guys, giant race fans, and all in for this trip. And then that night we got to do something truly rare. A private tour of Dallara. Lights off, doors locked, no one there but the four of us. We saw it all. Raw carbon parts, tubs in production, wings on racks, even some things we probably weren't supposed to see. Including a closer look at that tail section that started all of the drama this year. Seeing it raw, unassembled, it just hit different. And yeah, this year tech caught what they missed last year. Remember that tail from the museum? Yeah, that one. And then there it was, the Dallara simulator, full motion, team operated, $12,000 a day beast. Did I drive it? Nah, it takes a crew just to boot it up. Maybe next year though. I'm just saying, Dallara, my phone's on. It takes a full team to operate this thing, and during an IndyCar weekend, this thing's booked tighter than a pit stop strategy in the rain. But just seeing it up close, unreal. Bigger than life. And then Tuesday, it all comes to an end. My flight from Indy to Houston, Houston to Oakland, Uber back to the house, finally hit the pillow at 11:15. Worth every second. This wasn't just about the Indy 500. This was about reconnecting with friends. It was actually about reigniting the spark that started all of this. How did I get into sim racing? A love for real racing. Things like the Indy 500, the pinnacle of motorsports. And while I still love sim racing, sometimes there's no substitute for the real thing. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.